Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to this Zoom section. My name is Huli Ho, a volunteer conducting IT classes in library at Harbourfront. At this moment, we have converted these classes using Zoom. I have a blog, IT for Seniors WordPress.com. What I normally do is a few days before the talk, I post the notes in this blog. So for those who are interested to have a soft copy, you can find the word follow at the bottom right-hand corner. Submit your email address. In future posts, you will get a soft copy. Now, since circuit breaker last year, I have conducted 13 topics. Each topic has 2 sessions, 1 hour each. And after that, the library will provide me a recorded copy of the session, and I will post it in this blog. So when you read the notes, there's a link down there. You can click and you can review and hear the talk again to establish whatever points that you have missed out. Now, the part 1, I have completed the first 5 topics. Today, I will continue to address the other 5 points. And actually, the ones shaded in yellow are the main points or awareness that you have to learn how to manage them. If you want your iPhone, iPad, laptop or desktop to last as long as you can and minimum time to send to the service center. Now, just briefly give a very simplistic meaning of housekeeping. You have this room full of Lego pieces, all not properly arranged. Any children can still complete their project, the Lego project. But the problem is you will have difficulty finding the right parts. So the consequence is it will take longer time to complete. Whereas if you have another child that has his Lego parts properly arranged, he will complete the project in a much earlier time. Housekeeping is actually preventive maintenance. If your smart device is not working well or not working at all, that is maintenance. You have to send to the service center and they will see what they can do for you. In housekeeping, I always encourage you all to ask yourself these 3 words. Why? Why is to understand the problem. Understanding removes fear. Why my smart device is running so slow? So after knowing the reason, you have to challenge yourself to learn how. Lifelong learning. How can I improve the situation? Not everything you need to bring to the service center. There's a lot of things you can do yourself if you know how or somebody has told you. The last word, if, is the consequence. If I don't do what I've been advised, what will happen to my smartphone? As you know, most of us take a lot of pictures in our smartphone, and you may have collected 1,000 or 2,000 of them. What happened one day, your phone can't even start? What will happen to all the photos in the phone? So this is the consequence. So I will teach you how to manage all this. Now, in any smart device, broadly speaking, there are 4 areas that you have to at least know. Not so much about repairing it, but at least know. So first of all is, are you equipped to use the smartphone? Are you a smart user? So you have to go to classes and maybe join interest group to learn all the skills that you need to use a smart device. The next one is application. Application are for those who are still working. You may have a Microsoft Office in the laptop, or even a photo editing program in the laptop. But if you don't know how to use it after you purchase the program, that is also not of much use. So you still have to learn. And every program in the smart device needs updating. So the next one is the operating system. Next month, I'm talking about Windows 10 operating system. So I will talk more details on it. But today, just briefly mention. The last one is the hardware. Hardware for smartphone includes the battery. So I will touch on the battery tonight. Now, these are some of the tools we use for housekeeping. Some you can get it free. Some you may have to pay a small token. So this cleaner is in most of the PC, laptop and desktop. Memory cleaner mostly is in Apple laptop. Total PC cleaner in PC, desktop and laptop. Advanced System Care is a private program. Last time they give us free, so I have a free copy. You can try out to see whether they still give free now, or you have to pay a small fee. Now, the other thing are mainly commands. And some of them are related to Windows 10 operating system. So if it is related to Windows 10, I will talk more detail next month. But I will briefly introduce to you today also. So I briefly go through. Remove unwanted files. Every time you run a program or play a game, some files are used. And when you stop playing the game or running that program and do another program, those files are not relevant to the new program. So they are considered unwanted files. So you can imagine every time you play a game, something is left behind. So if you do nothing about your desktop or laptop, you may have thousands of these unwanted files, and all these files take some memory space. So this is a way to clear up. So there are ways of clearing them. The second one is using the control panel icon. I'm not sure whether you're aware or not. Sometimes you download one free program. I call this, you get one, you download one, they give another one free to you. Why? It's because assuming company A is the program you like, so you download. But company A is good friend to company B. And company B, the program is not very popular. So what happened is he will talk to company A and say, hey, every time somebody download your program, can I tongpang or not? So that is what happened. So after you download the program you want, you check on this control panel, see whether additional programs are downloaded. Delete them straight away because that is not what you want. It just tag along and then occupy your space and sometimes even give you trouble. So control panel can identify all this and take all this away. Remove duplicate files and photo. There are certain apps that can do this automatically, but sometimes you can visually see it and then you can know which one is the latest file and then delete the old files away. Restart is also a simple way of resetting something. All these Windows key plus R and all these are mainly for Windows 10 operating system. And the last one, operating system update when prompted is very important. I have heard people who say that Microsoft asked me to update the OS. I don't trust Microsoft. Then I tell the person, hello, when you buy a laptop, you are using Windows 10. And Windows 10 is provided by Microsoft. right from day one, you already trusted Microsoft. And if Microsoft tell you the operating system needs updating and you don't trust them, then what's the use of using a PC? So that is the logic you have to think about, and always trust them and just update whatever they tell you to do. This one I'll talk in more detail next month on Windows 10. But basically, all these are commands to tell your laptop or desktop. This thing you can't do in the iPhone or smartphone. It's only for laptop and desktop running on Windows 10. So it's very safe, not to worry. If you key in the wrong thing, they just refuse to follow your instruction. So you must key in exactly the spelling given, and they will do the job for you. And the window key, if some of you don't understand where is it, it looks like that on the top right-hand corner. It's at the bottom row on the left-hand side. You will see this icon. So you press this key plus R, you will come to a white line. Then you key in this command. Then you follow the instruction, then all the files will be deleted away. When you use a smart device, these are some of the things you need to know. But today I only focus on how to housekeep your device. But there are other things you also need to know to be a smart user. All these are in the notes in my blog. No need to copy. You can go to my blog and you can slowly see. If you join my blog, you will get a soft copy straight away. Now, as I said, I have finished the first 3 items in the part 1. Today, I will continue with these 2 to complete what is required to know, to do in order to have proper housekeeping of a smart device. When I talk about battery, I'm referring to all the smartphone, iPad, or that, not desktop or that. Even laptop also can, not desktop. Because desktop is run on AC supply. Here I show you a charger that has 2 options. If you see carefully, one is called 2.1 amp, one is called 1 amp. If you charge a smartphone, you have to use the 1 amp. Not say you cannot use the 2 amp, you can, but you are not charging your smartphone properly. So here I'm talking about using your smartphone properly. So 2.1 is meant for iPad and IoT devices, like Bluetooth and Bluetooth speaker and all these things, but not meant for iPhone. iPhone should use a smaller one. And here I also say, when the battery of your smartphone drop down to 20, it's good to start charging. Don't let it run down to 0. I'm talking about protecting the life of your battery. And when it comes to about 80, it's good to stop charging. But normally the auto charger will not stop at 80 unless you have such a smart device that can set it. But most of the charger, you don't have these facilities. So you have to manually stop it yourself. Here I try to explain to you what is inside the battery of your smartphone. Your battery is actually a chemical factory. It's a lot of chemical reaction that is going on. So before I talk about the battery, I just give you a simple analogy. Just assume you have 2 cups. One full of water, one is empty. One hand, you hold the full of water cup on the upper level. The other empty one, you hold on the other hand at the lower level. So you start to pour the water from the full cup to the empty cup. That means indirectly your battery is charging. It means slowly the water from the top cup will run to the bottom and the top cup will be empty. So in that sense, your battery is fully discharged. So how to charge it back again? You bring the cup full of water to the top, and the one that's empty, you bring to the bottom, and the process is repeated by itself. Now, as you know, when you pour water from the top level to the bottom level, you're bound to miss some of the water is wasted, waste away. Or you pour too fast. As I just now mentioned to you, 2.1 and 1. More water may also get lost. So finally, after a few rounds of up and down, the cup's supposed to be full of water, maybe only 80%, 20% lost. Battery also operate like that. As you use the battery, if you don't properly use it, the ions inside will get stuck, converted to one chemical and of no more use. So coming back to the battery in the chemical sense, at the moment, lithium metal is the best material for making battery because they have electrons they don't like. They want to throw away the electrons. And the graphite is another material that like to take the electron. So what happens is the electron from the lithium will migrate over to the graphite side through a conductor. If the conductor has something connected along the way, like a bulb, then your bulb will light up like a lamp. But if the electrons go through your smartphone, then your smartphone electronics will work according to what is designed. So you can say, as the lithium oxide electrons move from positive to negative, it goes through the electronic material in your iPhone, and from there, every department of that iPhone will operate. It can be the audio department, can be the area, can be the calculation department. They will do their job according to what is being designed. So all these things, using and charging is actually bringing the electron back to the other side. So when you use, you are discharging. When you try to replace the electron back to the other side, is called charging. So charging is you are forcing the electron to go back to the other side. Now, you notice at the center, there's a separator. The separator has also another electrolyte. That one is to prevent the ions to directly go horizontally, not going through a load. That is where we call it a short circuit. And short circuit, when short circuit happens, the consequence is the battery may be bloated, or worst of all, if it's a very powerful lithium battery, it may start a fire. So that's why you notice lithium battery are not allowed to bring on board aeroplane because of this danger that if the material of the separator and the electrolytes are not of good quality, and if you misuse the battery, that means you charge wrongly, overcharge or things like that, damage can be done to the battery. And all these things can shorten the life and also can cause a fire. Here, I just show you a picture of the electrons. Now, for those who are not aware, you notice around us it's not empty. Around us, there are 21% of oxygen in the air. That's where we survive. If you stay in an enclosed room without any ventilation, the person will die in no time because there's only 21% oxygen in the air. And there are other things also around us. There is gravity, there is electromagnetism, That's where you get your signal to come to your smartphone and all that. So all this is a play on the property or the particle, we call it. Every particle has an electron. So in this one, we have 3 electrons circulating around a nucleus. So just to give you some idea on it, okay? Now, next we talk about the risk management. If you have a smartphone, if your smartphone is damaged or lost, what is the consequence? Consequence is all your stored data images will be lost. For whatever reason, you need to do a total reset of your device. Same thing, everything is lost. What happens if your device cannot start? You have to send to the service center to retrieve the data. When the OS require reinstallation, sometimes you need this. What will happen? When you reinstall our OS, everything is lost. All your pictures in your iPhone, all that will be lost. That's why a serviceman will always tell you, do you have anything important in your smartphone? If you say yes, they will not do the job for you. If you say no, no problem, you can take it all away, then they will do the job for you at a fee. Now, if you have a desktop or a laptop and the hard disk fail, hard disk is the place where you keep most of your data and images. That will be all gone. So these are possibility and consequence. If you don't use the approved charging unit, what will happen? Your battery life will be shortened. So sometimes it's not worth saving a few dollars buying an imitation charger rather than an original charger from the original supplier. So if it's Samsung brand, you go back to Samsung to buy. If it's an Apple brand, go back to Apple to buy. But along the way in Sim-Lim, there's a lot of shops selling equivalent, quite equivalent battery. It may be 1/3 the price of the normal Apple battery, but it's up to you whether you want to use that or use the original one. So here is also another way of talking about it. When your device is totally need to reset. When we say reset, we mean reinstall the operating system. So one way to do it is, if you are using an Apple iPhone, you can back up your important thing on your iCloud. If you are using PC or laptop, you can transfer the file out to an external drive, or you can subscribe to a cloud storage to keep your videos, pictures, and everything. When the device is totally dead, means you can't even start it. Normally, this type of thing happens, you have to do a total reset. And total reset will delete everything away. And if you have an Apple device, it's very simple. As you reinstall the setup, they will ask you how. Then you say, go back to your iCloud. Then you will get everything back. Android phone, some people use the Google backup. But if you have a PC, normally what we do is we make a recovery disk in a thumb drive. So normally when I teach computer assembly, I also teach computer assembly. I always ask them to buy a thumb drive. So before they start using the PC, they configure a recovery disk. And this recovery disk is very useful. Technically, you are keeping the operating system on the thumb drive. So you can reinstall your Windows without buying a new copy. So that is reinstalling the operating system using a thumb drive. first statement is very important, and you have to understand and agree. If not, you will have a lot of trouble. Smartphone and laptop, desktop computers are not storage device. They are all operating device, allow you to connect to the internet, to work your program, to produce result, to do calculation and all that. But once you have important data, files, pictures, it is good to have a backup copy. You can still leave the original in the desktop or laptop, keep a backup copy. There are many ways to do it. When you come to the storage lesson later down the month, I have a lesson on storage. I will talk more details on this. There are many ways of doing it. And the other thing is I always give advice of, if you have more than 300 pictures in your smartphone, it's good to start thinking of removing them away, so that your iPhone has enough space to take another 300 pictures. Don't keep until 1,000, 2,000, and when in trouble, you get into trouble. Actually, I make a very big mistake that cost me $600. What happened? My daughter has an Apple laptop computer. As you know, everyone also the same. Every time on the iPhone, she take a picture, one copy automatically is stored into her Apple laptop by configuration. So one day her laptop not working well, she asked me what to do with it. I said, you have to remove all the pictures away. So he said, can you do it for me? So at that time is I think more than 2,000 pictures. So what I do, I bring home, I do it, but I make a mistake. I command the laptop to one shot transfer 1,000 pictures to an external drive. Definitely it jam up because the resources in the laptop is not enough to perform that job. And finally, the laptop totally don't work. I bring to Simlim, I have to change the RAM. Apple original RAM cost me $600. So I have to pay for it. They have imitation that cost about $400. I don't want, I say I want original. And up to now, I'm still using the laptop to do presentation. So when you do download, try not to be too greedy, so to speak. Try to do about 10 pictures first at one time. Then if 10 working well, then 20, then 40, then 50, then 100. But try not to go more than 100. Because most of our laptop or desktop are not the commercial grade, so we don't have that type of capacity. So try to do slow. It's a safer way. If not, you will make the same mistake at me, and then you may have to pay money to repair some of the hardware. Now, just now I mentioned, if you buy a laptop, you already trust Microsoft. So if Microsoft asks you to do something, you have to do. And the other thing is, along the line, you may download some of the apps. And apps is actually a small program that also needs updating. So when you download one program, say a program A, and program A asks you to update, you have to update. Unless you have no more use of that app, then you delete away. If you buy a Microsoft Office program, same thing. Off and on, they'll ask you to update. So since you buy an original copy, you have the privilege of updating it free of charge. Okay. These are the OS in the market. If you use an Android phone, you are using a Google version. Now I think version 11. When you use Microsoft laptop, PC, and desktop, the latest version is 20H2. If you use an iPhone, I think it's 14.5. The 15 is coming out soon, or maybe it already come out. So that is the latest version. Laptop is about 11.3. Why I say this is because I wouldn't recommend you to buy any smart device that is about 2 versions down the line. When I say 2 versions down the line, I mean, say for example, Android smartphone, now you version 11. So you minus 2 is 10 and 9. So if there's a cheap offer, tells you this Android phone is very cheap, you check the version, is version 7 or 8. Unless you are satisfied. If not, you cannot compete with your friend that's having version 11. Certain things you will not be able to do because they may not allow you to update to 11 if you have a lower version smartphone. So that is how they control the hardware and software. Same thing with Apple laptop. If you have a too old a version, they don't allow you to update to the latest because the hardware cannot support the latest version. Now, I have a close group. I call that Harbourfront Community Group. At the moment, I have about 144 members. So what we do in this group, if any of you has any question on IT or even on simple household problem, if I know how to give you a solution, I will share my skill with you, and everybody can read it and everybody can learn. So if any one of you is good in certain thing like accounting or other thing, you can also show us or share with us some of the things we need to know how to manage our money or things like that. So that is roughly what I intend to encourage you all to do. But the most important thing is I have an opportunity to make new friends. I try to bring back the kampong spirit if we can. But one thing you have to be aware, this is a Facebook sub-network. You have to have a Facebook account before you can go to this Harbourfront group. So in Facebook, a lot of things can happen. If you just try to join this group and tell me you are Mary Tan, I can't accept you because in Facebook, Mary Tan can be a male, can be a female. So I need more information for you to introduce so that I can have a way to check up whether you are local or foreigner. So these are some of the minimum things I would wish you all introduce yourself. And if you still have some queries, you can email me and ask me before you join. So this is the icon for our group. And I emphasize that it's a closed group. Closed group means whatever you say in this group, your friends in your normal Facebook account will not be able to see it. So I think I have finished everything. So, Tong Seng.
Yes,